All right, we're going to start turning the corner right now and we're going to start discussing advertising. So, before we jumped in, there's probably some newbies out there. I thought I'd go over an advertising 101, just kind of a level set on advertising terms and what people throw around, that sort of thing. So, let's jump into it. First off, there are absolutely no guarantees when you purchase advertising. You are spending your money, you are risking your money. And this point right here, oh, you better believe it. Ad network, the ad network, any of them, doesn't matter, Facebook, Google, whatever, they do not care if you're making money or not. So if you're blindly spending money, they're smiling. If you are very wisely spending money, they're smiling. They don't care either way. So it's up to you to make good choices in your advertising purchases. Now, all advertising, every single bit of it is sold via CPM. CPM is cost per milli, and that really means cost per 1,000 views. So to show 1,000 people your ad, the cost will be X. And everyone sells it like this. Google, Facebook, Bing, cost per view networks, PPV networks, mobile, you name it, it all backs out, it all leads back to CPM, cost per thousand. Now, over time, people have had really great creative names for it. So Google, early 2000s, when they came out with their ad network to monetize search, they started out with this awesome marketing idea called cost per click. Well, guess what it backs into? CPM. Okay, Facebook, great. We launch ours. We have this cool feature called Optimize CPM. Well, it even has CPM in the name, so you know it's sold via CPM. PPV networks, cost per view networks, again, we have this cool marketing name. We're going to display a cost per view. It all backs into CPM. Mobile networks, probably the newer generation, they have push notifications and app installs and all these cool different types of advertising you can purchase, and it all leads back to CPM. So understand that you always are buying eyeball views of your ad in 1,000 increments. Okay, so just know that this is the baseline, it's the root of the entire industry. This doesn't matter if it's in radio or newsprint or TV, it's all about cost per milli, cost per thousand. Okay, so how do you win? And we'll talk about t-shirts specifically, but for the most part, if you have a good offer, a great offer with good targeting and you're reaching the right people, and you have a good ad, that's how you win. That's how you beat out other people. So in t-shirts, I really talk about a three-legged stool a lot that you need. Well, you don't need all three, but if you want a rock star shirt, you're going to need all three. So the first one is a good design. That's a good design t-shirt. It looks good from a distance. It resonates with the correct crowd. There's a good design there. The next one is going to be targeting a relevant crowd. You absolutely need to put the right eyeballs on your ad. Then the third one in the t-shirt game, it's really connected with your good design up there, but it's to have a good ad. And why I say it's connected is odds are you're going to have this good t-shirt displayed in your ad. So they're connected. You know, if you have a great design here, odds are you're going to get a better ad. And what you're really after is something called CTR, which is click-through rate. And that's the rate at how many people actually click on your ad. You can think of it as per 100. So if you had a 3% click-through rate, that would be 3 out of every 100 people click on your ad. There's different things we can do here. We can make a red border, we can have a wild background, we can do all sorts of fun stuff, but your t-shirt will definitely be in your ad, and as long as it has a good design and we'll do a few other things, we should be getting a pretty decent click-through rate. Now, click-through rate is also relevant to the audience that you're targeting. So, you know, say I had a garbage truck driver shirt and I targeted nurses with that. Well, the click-through rate is going to fail because it's the wrong people. So these are interrelated, and you need to, it's a three-legged stool. So each of these need to be addressed to the best of your abilities, and the better you do at it, the more shirt sales will follow. As an overall rule in advertising, and I'm saying cost, but tighter targeting generally costs more. So the more layers of targeting you put in, maybe you say, I want females, I want 25 to 35, I want ones that live in Texas, and you really start stacking these up, generally costs go up. It's just the nature of the beast. So if you're asking the ad network for a very precise customer, they know they're no dummies. They're on the other side of the fence. If you ask for all this, they can charge you a higher price. On the other end of the spectrum, most networks offer something called RON traffic, and it's run of network traffic. It's remnant traffic. Most of the time, it's garbage traffic, to tell you the truth. But it's at the end, whatever the scraps are left over, and you can buy it without a doubt the most inexpensively on that network. So you have two ends of the spectrum. Generally, the tighter you're targeting, it's going to cost you more via CPM. You can still make a profit on it, don't get me wrong. And then the other end of the spectrum, the cost is, yep, here's the scraps left over, do what you want with them. Overall, a great t-shirt design will cost you less, or you will make more profit with it. If it really resonates with that target audience, you throw costs out of the window. As long as the dollars in and dollars out, are coming out fine, this t-shirt is going to cost you less overall. And as kind of another general rule, the higher the click-through rate that you have, this is CTR, is click-through rate, the higher that is, the less the advertising is going to cost you. So for example, let's go back to 3% click-through rate. That means 3 out of every 100 people shown, 3 out of every 100 click on your ad. What if you had a 6% CTR? So 6 out of every 100 people clicked on your ad. It's essentially half the cost. And, I'm saying 100 in this example, but all advertising goes back to CPM. So you're buying eyeballs. So you want the click-through rate. In theory, you would love it if every single person clicked on your ad. That would drive your cost down to just about nothing. So there's different levers here. Obviously, we want great targeting. We want to have a good ad. We want to give them the right offer. We want, click-through rates very high. All these things are an interplay, and they will determine the success or failure of your different t-shirt campaigns as you're going forward. Okay, advertising 101. Ad server. This is a magical box that sits somewhere. It may be their algorithm, whatever they call it, right? It's something that sits there and determines how you're going to do. At the start, no one really knows the track record of your ad. It's kind of like a credit report. It doesn't have any credit report. It's just a brand new human. It's a new individual. It's going to enter the ecosystem. No one really knows how it's going to do. Is it better than normal? Is it worse than normal? We really don't know. So up front, an ad server is going to give you inventory. It's going to give you eyeball views until they really start establishing your ad's click-through rate in comparison to all the other ads in the ecosystem. Okay? We need to give you a little bit to determine, give you a little bit of credit to see how you do with the credit, and then if you do good, we'll give you more. If you do bad, we'll give you less. So let's take this example. Click-through rates. We'll say across the entire network, there's a 4% click-through rate average. Great. Awesome. That's what's established. That's what the ad server knows. It's burnt into its brain. So you come out with your ad and you're getting a 2% click-through rate. Well, you're well below the average, and over time you'll get fewer and fewer impressions. You will win less in the auction. It's not profitable for them to keep giving you credit or impressions in their system. It actually is hurting them. Okay, let's flip-flop that on its head. We go for 6% click-through rate, and we are higher. We're better than the average. Well, same thing, but in reverse, we're going to get a ton more impressions. It's more profitable for them to show your ad. So always click-through rate. You want a higher one, without a doubt. You'll get more or less inventory depending on it, and it's really like a credit report. Once your ad is established, if it's established as it has a good credit report, it's an upward spiral. If it's established that it's bad, guess what? Downward spiral. All right, when we get into advertising and targeting, we'll talk about research. But I'll just tell you this, as a beginner, especially with t-shirts, just, don't think you know anything about your target market. Go out and do the due diligence. Research it. Figure out how they speak. Figure out the images they like on their shirts. Just do not take it for granted. Just, the number one pitfall right here, and the market will always tell you this, it'll tell you if you have a winter shirt. And this is probably the number one newbie problem that happens. Someone falls in love with their design. Why do they do that? They probably made the design for themselves and they love the design. That doesn't mean the market loves the design. In fact, the market could hate the design and, you'll never make a sale. So you have to listen. You have to take feedback well. So if you have a winter t-shirt, great. If your ad is good, the market will tell you through ad numbers. If your targeting is good, especially like with a PPE ad, you'll get great social engagement on your ad. So you have to listen to the feedback that's coming through the marketplace about your t-shirt, your ad, and your targeting. And if it's a market I will just say this. Use your head. If you know a ton about it, great. If you have past data on ads you ran, use that data. It's absolute gold. So don't stick your head in the sand completely, if you know that market inside and out and you've been marketing to them for years. Yes, use your head. For the most part though, when people enter new niches that they don't know anything about, I'll just say assume you don't know anything. Do your research. Learn the marketplace. If you're well established over time, use your head, use your past data that you have collected through advertising because it's absolute gold and you'll start to pull away from other people when you look at it. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions at all, ask Teespring. They will be happy to help. Thanks.